Hello, everyone, and good morning, Kim.
Good morning, Jill. Good morning, everyone. Today's message has a lot to do with those, trying to put it in different words, so show me images. So when you're ready to do something and then you get pulled away to go to the bathroom, or you get pulled away, somebody's like, hey, I need your help over here right now, or you're like right in the middle of grabbing your stuff to go out the door, and your body gives you a signal like, hold up, like, let's go to the bathroom right now. Or those moments when you get the nervous feelings in your gut, and then you're like, oh, I can't go into there because I'm just so nervous, and then you go into the bathroom. You're like, they're grouping this all together. It's like it's kind of like a nervous energy, yes, but it's more releasing some of those emotions, releasing some of those fears, allowing the body to like relax. Sometimes we view it as an anxiety or a nervous feeling. That is just what you've been told that it is, which there is some truth. They're showing me the nervous system kind of a little bit like, It looks funny in my head, and it's hard to explain it, but they're like, it's like a little shock going through in the nervous system. Yep. And then all of a sudden it stimulates the bladder, or stimulates your intestines, your bowel movements, or all of a sudden you feel nauseous. Sometimes people get all of a sudden like a little bit of a headache, something that is you don't feel is right, where you feel like, oh, that's just my nerves. Okay. They're like, yes, but in reality, it's your body just communicating that it needs to let something go before it actually can move forward. Or, well, I'm like, when they said release something, I thought of the headaches and the nausea. I'm like, well, you're not technically releasing. They're like, actually, you are releasing chemicals at that moment. Your body's just struggling to process. But then they pull me back down to the urine and the bowel movement. I'm like, yep, so you got to release something. I tell people if my bladder does a little bit of a spasm, there's some sort of pissed off energy. Kind of a little mad, he's irritated, he's just pissed off, okay? And we just got to let that go. A lot of times with bowel movements, it's just things that things just aren't absorbing correctly, either not wanting to hold on to the situation, to the emotions, to the stress. You just want to let it go. Sometimes it's just past stuff that's just got to come out, past emotions. It's kind of weird how your body speaks to you. So I just asked, okay, what did you mean by the headaches and the nausea? And when you just get that like ick feeling throughout your body before you're going to leave, they're like, again, that's just a release. The release that your body's trying to process through. Sometimes we do that on purpose to you, so you take a moment to just be with yourself because you're not being in yourself. So when you're ready to run out the door, or you're ready to go do something, and then all of a sudden it just hits you like, whoa, like, yeah, we're trying to protect you. A lot of times we're trying to bring you back into your body because your energy is so far ahead of yourself. You're not even in your body anymore. You're out there 5 miles down the road. You're like, whoa. Let's reel it back in today. Reel it back in. We're going to be in our body. Taking those deep breaths and just acknowledging like, whoa, I was way ahead of myself. So they said, think of the head. Ha, 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 ha. And they're laughing. Their humor sometimes is kind of interesting. So you're way ahead of yourself if your head starts to spin, or you get a little bit of a headache, or just an odd feeling going through your head. Yep, that's a sign you're way ahead of yourself. Pull yourself back in. Bring your thoughts back to the now, the present. Pinch yourself. Look at the stuff around you. Start smelling things that are around you, bringing you back here. And then, so then ask them, If all of a sudden you just get like a pit in your stomach, like not like a bowel movement, but that nausea feeling, they're like, yeah, because there's something that you need to stomach before you move forward, or you're already predetermining that it's going to potentially cause a little bit of stomach ache. You're like, interesting. I'm showing popping in like a antacid. I do not take that stuff. Somebody's popping in antacid today. Be like, yep, if you're one of those people, that's a sign that you're struggling to actually break down, to start to break down, not absorb. Break down. There we go. You're trying to break down how things are going to go. You're struggling to conceptual, that's not the right word they were saying. Break down. You're going break down. Struggling to break down the situation, the scenario, and then they keep repeating breakdown. Like, geez.
So I'd summarize it. It's like being in clear, concise communication with our body. There's a lot of talk about communication skills with others and for people to be clear and concise and so on. And it's like, I hear that today, and I'm thinking we can apply that to our body rather than panicking because our body is giving us messages or ignoring it. There's some hesitation, though. I can sense that too because I have it as well when, say, my body starts. I had a nervous system kind of real mild, but I almost felt like a shock go through my system earlier this morning.
Yeah.
And I kind of stopped and I was like, oh.
Right.
That was my initial reaction. And I realized that, and I'm like, no, like, what is this? Well, it was like there was just too much starting to move through me just so fast. It felt more of a shock. I just wasn't ready for that yet. I'm like, all right. And it was early morning, I was letting those habits, like, let's move, let's do stuff. I was like, you know what? It's a little too early for me to do that. And it also wasn't the time. It wasn't needed. So it was more of a loving message from my body showing me something was engaging that wasn't necessarily needed at that moment.
Yeah.
But we seem to have we seem to have more of a contentious adversarial relationship to the body than a loving, embracing one. And I'm hearing you say loving, embracing. And I don't know if that's what the breakdown is in part about, like break down the old, you know?
Yep. It's like your old stuff is trying to come out, to be released, to show you, like, this is what you're doing. You're almost doing a little bit of self-harm when you're not present in the moment and just not react like you did. You're like, whoa, our first instinct. Like, oh, what's going on? And then you're like, wait a sec. Bring myself back in. Okay. What are you trying to tell me? And sometimes it's maybe not even something in your head. It could literally be a protection from potentially a car accident down the road that you were not involved in that could have potentially happened. Like, there's weird things that happen that your body's trying to keep you safe at all times. That's its job. So if you feel like, say, you have to run to the bathroom like really fast and you're like, I don't have time for this. Yeah, you do. Your body's making time for that also for you in a very kind and loving, compassionate way. May not always feel that way in the moment, but it's when you stop and you give it that time just to sit and be like, okay, I'm here. Yep, I'm here.
It can feel that way if we shift our perspective, and I think that's the key. If it's not feeling, if your experience with your own body is not loving and compassionate and helpful, supportive, then we need to change our perspective on it. And I've had a pretty lifelong experience here of more or less battling with my body.
Yeah.
And that's been the big shift for me is to realize, like, be in a more cooperative relationship with my body, even if my body is giving me messages that I don't necessarily like. I don't have to filter those messages that I don't like them. I just have to receive those messages.
Yes. Woo. I got chills on that one. Ah, this feels beautiful. Ah. There.
Play with that today. That's
exactly.
That's
They were gonna say something a little bit naughty, and I stopped them. I'm like, no. Yes, play.
Mm-hmm. Play. Okay. Well, thank you, Kim, and thank you to your guides and the beautiful guidance and information that you share with us every day. And thank you, everyone, for listening. We love and appreciate you so much and wish you fun playing with your body's messages today and always.
Yeah, thank you, Jill. Thank you, everyone.
All right, until next time.